Today, I want to talk about why I don't give readings for free. And this seems to be a pretty controversial topic in the tarot community. And I've been a professional tarot reader for over a decade, and I thought I would just share my own personal experience and my own opinion. When I first started reading tarot, I didn't have the confidence to charge people money for it. I felt awkward. I felt unsure of myself. And honestly, I didn't feel like I knew tarot in a fluid or confident way to provide a service of value to somebody. I felt like I still needed experience. And so I didn't really want to charge any money for that. And I don't think that it comes down to like the specific dollar amount if you're a beginner and you feel like you're not worth that. But I do think that on some level, there needs to be a mutual energy exchange between you and your client, even if it's just $1, even if it's just a quarter, just something, because when people get something for free, and this is just human nature, but when people get something for free, they don't value it. They really don't. And I'm so sorry to say that, but chances are when you give a tarot reading to someone for free, you could have the most amazing tarot reading. It could be full of amazing advice, but not all advice is the easiest advice to have. And, if it's cheap advice or free advice, most people forget about it. They really do. They don't take it seriously, or they don't take it with the reverence or the value that you would like it to be. So when I first started out and I did free readings, by and large, the experience that I had was very negative. People would feel much more comfortable being rude to me. I got people that would be demeaning and dismissive. I got people that would laugh and joke and just waste my time, honestly. When I did readings for cheap, when I felt like, okay, I'll just charge a little bit, I got people that took advantage of me. They would take, instead of taking maybe 10 minutes of my time or a half an hour of my time, they would want an hour and not pay for that extra time. And they would want me to do follow-up readings for free. And at first I felt, happy. I really just wanted to help people, and I thought I was helping people. But when I did readings for really cheap or nearly free, I found that the people that I was reading for, they didn't actually take my readings seriously. They just wanted someone to give them attention. And I just happened to be a cheap and available way to give them attention. And I didn't want to be that. Let me explain. Now, there are some people in the world, they don't actually want to fix their problems, right? They act like they do. They act like, oh, I wish I have a solution to my problem, or I'm a victim, please help me. But they don't actually really want to fix it. What they want to do is eat up somebody's time and complain to you about it. Or they want you to give them sympathy and make them feel better about it. They want attention. And that is the currency that they're after. And when you are cheap or you're giving readings for free, you attract these energy vampires, is what I call them. You attract these energy vampires like bees to honey. Oh my God, they love it. Oh, here's someone that for $5 an hour, they'll listen to me complain about my workday. This is amazing. Or, oh, here's someone for free. I'll tell them I'll bitch about my relationship, or I'll complain about my spouse. And they're not coming to the tarot reading with like a genuine sincerity for healing or solutions. They're really just coming to get attention. And when you try to help them, you try to give them spiritual healing or advice, insight, anything that comes up in the reading, you find that they're not really valuing you, because people don't value what is cheap. People don't value what is free. And so it was a journey for me to learn how to protect myself. It was a journey for me to say, you know what? I don't want to attract energy vampires. I'm going to raise my prices to the point where the only people that should come to me for a reading are people that are truly sincere and absolutely serious about wanting spiritual guidance or help for their issue. And the price reflects that. It reflects that level of seriousness. So if you're genuinely sincere about recovering after a breakup or having spiritual closure or finding your life partner or your true love or making a decision about your career, there are a million things that we face, challenges that tarot can be helpful with. I only want to read for clients who are absolutely sincere and serious about their pursuit in, self-knowledge and healing and transformation. And what I found is that in order to filter out the good clients from the bad, you have to charge money. You really do. We live in a society where that is the currency of how we place a value on things. And if someone is truly an energy vampire, they're not going to pay. They're not going to pay. They are going to go to somebody else. Energy vampires have a way of isolating themselves because they take and take and take from everyone around them until they have nobody left to listen to. And so you might find that energy vampires, like their friends are sick and tired of listening to them. Their family doesn't pick up when they call. Maybe they don't have any friends left because their friends have just found them insufferable, right? And so they will look to tarot readers. They will look to spiritual healers. They will look to counselors and therapists, and they will find someone else to latch onto. And they tend to find someone who's cheap and vulnerable, or someone who's just trying to do good in the world. And and they'll latch onto you and suck up all your energy and all your talents. And it's a shame that this is prevalent, but it is something that you really should do to protect yourself as a reader. And also to have that mutual investment. When you buy something and you spent a serious amount of money on it, you're going to value that thing. You are going to value that advice. You're going to approach that experience with the attention and the seriousness and the investment that it deserves. And when you're working like with what I do a lot of really deep dive tarot readings. That's my specialty. I don't do like superficial conversations. I spend 45 minutes to an hour or more with my clients. I want them to bring their full energy to the reading. I want them to be serious. I want them to feel like this is as much of an investment for them as it is for me, because my time is a limited resource. Once it's spent, it's gone. Nobody, like, if I spend an hour talking to a client, that's not an hour that I get back. That's an hour gone. And I could be using my time to do so many other things besides talking to clients. It has to be financially worthwhile for me to offer this service and for this service to be sustainable. I think that, so many tarot readers have this business model where they try to be like the Walmart of tarot, right? They try to make it affordable and accessible to everybody. And they think the cheaper the tarot reading, the more tarot readings I'll get. And the reality is that tarot is not like an everyday thing. It's not it's not something that you pick up on your way, like to do your laundry or whatever. This is when you really come to a tarot reading, it should be treated with this level of spiritual seriousness or spiritual reverence almost. It is not something that should be casual and flippant. It is this kind of unveiling and unraveling that happens in a tarot reading that is very personal and very vulnerable and very sacred. And when we attach a certain dollar amount to that, it basically makes it so that it's not commonplace and it's not disposable. And really, it's a shame that money is the only kind of way to set those boundaries, or that money is kind of like the only way to protect myself from energy vampires. And that it's also the only way to kind of make sure that the client is personally invested in the reading, that they're genuinely coming to my table with sincerity and effort. Um, but that's the nature of our world. Like, I didn't make up the rules. I didn't make up the rules, but this is the nature of our world. And then the other aspect of it is that nobody does tarot reading to be rich, okay? If you want to be rich, like, go to school and become a doctor. Don't be a tarot reader, for Christ's sake. Like, you're not doing this job because you're rolling in money. This is a job of service. This is really a job of service. This is a job where you give your spiritual services to someone. Unless you've actually had a tarot reading before, it's hard to explain, but it's really a one-on-one intimate conversation where you get to be vulnerable and exposed to another person whose goal is to help heal and guide you. That's not commonplace. That's not something that happens all the time, but it's a beautiful service and it's a beautiful experience. And if you want that experience to be available, we have to support our healers and our readers. Everybody needs a roof over their head. Everyone needs food in their fridge and clothes on their back. Maybe you only need a tarot reader once a year or once every couple of years. But when you do need one, when you really do need someone who's going to sit with you on a spiritual journey, maybe you've lost a loved one and you need, to go through the journey of grief. Maybe you've had your heart broken and you need to spiritually put yourself back together again. Maybe you're at a crossroads in your life and you just need help to make a decision, or you need guidance. You need to tap into your own inner wisdom. There are 1,000,001 times in life when we need a tarot reader. If you don't pay them, though, they're not going to be there when you need them. And I think that kind of comes back to, we pay for the service that we're getting. And, in order for me to offer my practice in a sustainable way, I have to charge a certain amount of money. And that's just based off of how I've set up my practice. I do not advertise to a lot of clients. My clientele base is very exclusive, it's very tailored, and it's very small. And I like to keep it that way. I have a small group of very loyal clients that book with me continuously through the year. And I'm not, my model is not the Walmart of tarot readers, okay? My services I think that they're fairly priced for the time and effort and the talent and the experience that I'm giving my clients, that they're fairly priced, but they're definitely not free. And I wish that, we could live in a world where none of us needed money, where, we could just we could just help each other without an exchange, but that's not reality. I didn't make up the rules of reality. And in my experience, giving free readings or cheap readings has been so negative and counterproductive that I would not be able to offer my services if I did that. I wouldn't. I would have gotten burnt out from energy vampires. I would have had, I'd be working in a different job. I wouldn't be able to pay my bills. Like, I would get clients that don't really care about the reading. They just want attention and entertainment. And so unfortunately, because of that, I have to charge. And I finally have gotten to a place in my career where I'm comfortable and it's sustainable. And if you don't like my prices, there are plenty of other tarot readers out there. You should go find the person that you like at the price that you like. And I feel like, yeah, I'm very happy with what I charge and why I charge it. But as a general rule, when I'm talking to people that are new to tarot, I encourage them to charge something, even if it's not, a lot, just to at least make sure that the person that you're giving a reading to, that they feel like they've made the investment and that they know that your time and your talents and your energy is valuable and it's not free. And that they could, you could be reading for someone else. You don't have to read for them. You could read for someone else. And just because this is a spiritual service, just because this is a service of healing, doesn't mean that you also don't have bills to pay. I mean, every single healer on the planet still gets paid. If you go to your doctor, they still get paid. If you go to your therapist, they still get paid. If you go to your dentist or your chiropractor, they still get paid. So we have physical healing of the body, we have spiritual healing of the soul, mental healing of the mind. It doesn't matter if you're going to someone and you're asking them for a service. In order for that person to provide that service, they need to be paid, and they need to be paid accordingly. If you disagree, I always tell people you are welcome to get your own tarot deck and learn how to be your own tarot reader. I mean, it takes like years of practice and a lot of talent and skill, but nothing is stopping you. You don't have to go to a professional reader if you don't want to. Anyway, that's my little ramble, and that's my general advice for people, especially people who are just starting out. Be very careful when you are offering readings for free. Be very careful, because energy vampires are out there and you will attract them. They will come. They're hungry for attention, and they'll come and they'll soak up your attention. They don't care about healing. They don't care about making themselves feel better. They just are craving and hungry for attention. And if you're cheap or free, that's what you're gonna get. And they're horrible. Oh my gosh, they are, yeah. I think they're narcissists, actually. Like, they are just narcissists that just want to dominate people's time and energy for their own enjoyment. I don't know what it is, but yeah, that's why I don't give readings for free. Anyway, yeah, that was today's tarot ramble, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So take care. Bye.